Please, someone, we need help. There's an armiger injured on the road outside Seydanin. So much, I'm not exactly sure.
What?
Outlander, a word. By order of the Deputy Governor of Seydanin, which happens to be me, the lighthouse is closed. I need someone without ties to the area to look into a matter for me. It seems the lighthouse was broken into. I suspect slavers were involved, which means they had help here in town. I find that I need to check in with the Overseer. His workers are searching the wreckage. By the time we were alerted and had organized a response, precious moments had been lost. Ever since our agreement with the Pact went into effect, here and in all of the territories controlled by the great houses that support the Ebonheart Pact. If you stray into Telvanni or Dres territory, though, we're just a small outpost along the Bitter Coast, but I like to think of us as the gateway to Vardenfell.
Halt! No one's allowed up here. She asked you to... an outlander? Isn't it enough Findon sent a barrel of his finest ale for Watch Captain Bethes's birthday. Powerful stuff. One cup and we could barely keep our eyes open. Look, once I heard the crash along the shore, it was all I could do to get moving and raise the alarm.
Do you mind? Your dirty foot coverings are so direct you are. Makes my tongue with. Now you insult me? I'll have you know I can take care of myself. Since you mentioned it, I've noticed that my faith Findon collects it from a secret location where the sea meets the swamp in perfect harmony. Contains just enough salt to nourish my scales without drying.
Red Mountains bubbling and boiling. Is that for Cherish's water? Poor dear. Her scales are very sensitive, you know.
What is it?
Ah, that feels much better. Now that's the proper way to ask. You keep asking the wrong question. I did not see any. I prefer my waters to remain still, calm. Prying causes ripples and...
Don't give me any trouble.
Not now, citizen. Really, Outlander, it's commendable that you're trying to learn our ways.
Today's selections got a little. That's something to do with the tribunal.
You're an adventurer, aren't you? That's a good one.
Watch your step.
Welcome to our shop. Keep it down. We don't want to attract undue attention. Already? Let me see. Oh, it's beautiful. I love working for the tribunal. Oh, right. We're not supposed to talk about ordinators in the tribunal in such a pub. Oh, that was easy. I put a sleeping...
Unfortunately, the wreck of the vessel provided no additional clues. Were you able to discover anything during your investigation? The young woman who works with the grocer. I doubt the tribunal will ask her to do something so reckless. Do you have any proof other than her word? This is disturbing. This parchment feels just like the sheets that Governor O'Melian's special orders from High Rock. I'm going to need you to acquire another sample from the governor's office. It's the only way to be certain. Not the office. He keeps it in his private quarters, accessed through the guardhouse. back again. So tell me, you didn't do anything unlawful now, did you? That's odd. We haven't done a search of Firemoth Island since Governor O'Melian declared that the House Guard was better used patrolling farther up the coast. What I think doesn't matter. We need evidence. But we also need to launch a rescue. Slavery is illegal in Pact territory. It's time to visit. Attack before the soldiers have been assembled? That's not a prudent course of action. We need to muster our forces, make plans and contingencies, unlock the armory. What was that? That's a distress signal, and it came from Firemoth Island. No time to prepare. We have to rescue the slavers. Soldiers, to the ships! We sail for Firemoth Island!
Free at last. My thanks. I owe you one.
I can't believe it. Free.
last, I'm free.
My associate will be here soon. Patience, Governor. I informed the Governor that the captives we rescued from Firemoth Island are safe and sound. Do you have anything you'd like to... This note, along with the other evidence you uncovered, clearly implicates the Governor as working with the slavers. Well done.
Well, I suppose we're done here. I have a silt strider waiting.
No. Governor O'Melian, I am placing you under arrest for promoting slavery in Pact territory.
How dare you accuse me of such a thing? You have no proof.
A note on your parchment, which led to the sabotage of the lighthouse and a shipwreck off our coast. A letter naming you as the slaver captain's partner. Do you deny your involvement?
That proves nothing. I'll have you hanged for this.
The document you requested, Deputy Governor.
And your report to Vivek City claiming Firemoth Island to be free of slaver activity, written before we eradicated the slaver base.
Delms, you can't believe these blatant lies about me.
My duty is clear. Traitor.
Secure him!
Yes, Governor Salvi.
I hope to bring honor back to the station of Governor, and shall do my best to restore the people's faith in...
What?
Bah! Dull. Yes. Nervous? Me? Ha! Do not make this one laugh. Hollins here is just... You will help? Oh, bless you. This one planted his crops in a... You are a true hero, Walker. A brave... Flora is this one's loyal farmhand. She is not very bright, and she is very lazy. Always scribbling notes and asking silly questions. I could, but this one likes Flora. Oh, she knows too much about my farming practices. Yes. Hallengier has many secret farming tricks, like using fish. Sorry, I was just... Hey! You and I am sorry. This one is a nervous wreck. Hallengier is growing a rare kajiti herb. Do not worry.
moment, please. You made it. Good. In a clearing to the southeast, but that can wait. I trust you've seen what Halandir and I were growing in there. Moon sugar. In its raw form. It's a crude nut. I had to be sure he could do it. Moon sugar is temperamental. No one's been able to grow it here in Vardenfell. Until Halandir. I need you to take the notes you found to Captain Ben. It's complicated. I was a member of House Redwing's Narcotics Oath Bureau. I made some... If you'd ever taken it, you'd know. I don't know. But it doesn't matter. He's developed a method to grow vast quantities. Halandir is no Daedric prince, but his work... I'd rather not discuss it. Suffice it to say that the skooma trade offers many...
You are kind to check up on Halandir, but this one is fine. Again, thank you. What? How could she? Why would she do that? Halandir... Skooma? No. Halandir does not make skooma. My sister and cousin were both addicts. This one would never make such a thing. Hey, Halandir has huge appetites. A little sugar in the morning to start the day, a little in the evening to soothe us. Oh, a hunt.
Forgive me, Outlander, but I have enough to deal with. Lord Vivek sent the three of us to seek guidance at the Andrino ancestral tomb. We were attacked. Canon Levul. He remained behind after we retreated from the tomb. I know he wants to get back.
Tyza, what's wrong? Someone help!
Why, the three! First a wounded Armiger, now this!
By dawn and dusk, evil creeps through the shadows of my beloved Vardenfell. But an outlander arrives to aid my people, just as I have foreseen.
Those words, what do they mean?
What happened?
Merciful Azura, the Mother Soul spoke through you. It's a miracle!
Lord Vivek, protect me! The Daedric Prince Azura possessed that woman and spoke through her. I've heard of such occurrences, of course, but to witness such... We sought guidance in a matter that concerns Lord Vivek. I received specific questions to ask while living. Vile creatures from oblivion! You hear about an odd ghost or a nest of vampires. The buoyant armigers comprise one of the military orders of the Tribunal Temple. They seek to emulate Lord Vivek's deeds through actions and words. Where are you from? Children learn of Red Mountain before they even taste Flynn. The mountain sits at the center of Vardenfell. Periodically, you don't know Lord Vivek, one of the living gods of the Dunmer Tribunal. Yes, one of the god monarchs of Morrowind. He's the warrior poet who lives in a grand palace in Vivek City. Lord Vivek sent us. Azura is the cruel but wise Daedric Prince of Dawn and Dusk. She's one of the good Daedra, for what that's worth. But for her to speak through an innocent means something terrible is about to happen. Why else would she dare Lord Vivek's wrath? What do they teach you where you come from? Lord Vivek's a living god! Azura is merely the anticipation of Sophasil. Vivek stands as...
Those monsters, it's too dangerous. What am I going to... Did Canon Valasar send you? Oh, she did, didn't she? That means she made it to Sedanin. Vivek be praised. Will you help me complete my mission? It will... As the saints declare, the tribunal always provides. We'll need to be cautious, however. Daedra, take this scroll with Lord Vivek's inquiries, while I summon forth my ancestor spirit and concentrate on maintaining the connection. You must ask the questions. I've already lost precious time due to the buoyant armiger's wounds, but I suppose a few more moments won't make the volcano erupt or the moonlit fall from the sky. I'm not quite sure, and it wasn't my place to ask. When your living god gives you a task, you say, "Yes, my lord." The questions seem to involve the time before the tribunal, which a few of my contemporaries can boast of a luminary such as Farana Andron. Who sowed the seal? It's like asking who are Vivek and Almalexia. They are the tribunal. Well, I can tell you why they weren't here the last time I paid my respects. Canon Valasar thinks they're some kind of Daedra, determined to keep us from fulfilling Lord Vivek's will. Until you showed up, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. Before we go in there, follow me, but keep an eye out for those Daedra. Careful. The creatures attacked as soon as we entered the Hall of Remembrance. This used to be such a peaceful place. I came here as a young acolyte to meditate. We're nearly there. Then we can summon my ancestor. The summoning chamber. I'll call forth my ancestor, then you can ask Vivek's questions.
Hasn't my rest been disturbed enough by those filthy Daedra? Why do you summon me, descendant?
My Lord Vivek has inquiries that only you can answer, my lady. My companion will present them with your permission.
The warrior poet? Very well. Ask Vivek's questions. Ask the warrior poet's questions, Outlander.
Vivek always had a way with words. Tell him to rest assured. The heart remains safe. I wonder why. An enemy of old, yes. But not the one that Vivek presumes. Sotha Sil imagined multiple scenarios and contemplated endless solutions. He even experimented with his divinity, drawing energy to study before returning it.
I hope that's what Lord Vivek needed. Let's talk outside. Thank you for helping me complete my task. Now, I need to return to Vivek City. Have you been there? It's amazing. Ziggurat, just between us, I understood neither the questions asked nor the answers received. Not that I expected you. Some things aren't meant for mortal minds. That's another reason for you. Excellent. I just need to make a quick stop in Seydanin to check on my original traveling companions. When you get to Vivek City, head right. I'll be along shortly. When you get to Vivek City, head directly, of course. As I said, the tribunal consists of our three living gods, Vivek, Almalexia, and Sotha Sil. They lead us in spiritual matters and rule over Dunmer society as god monarchs of the Dark Elves. I serve Vivek. Unfortunately, no. The Dunmer houses bow to the tribunal, but the savage Ashlanders refuse to acknowledge their divinity. The heretics never allowed themselves to be assimilated into the Great House.
You here for crafting, sir? They're daily. I can train and certify blacksmiths, clothier. Excellent! Let me know if you have some time. I can train and prove you know your... I want you to craft a simple... Yes, there's a plan.
Excellent. I know. Right. Our new guildmaster is an Argonian, sees all colors. Guildmaster Yofnir passed away recently. No. We only draw blades. Ha! Yes, good question. We train our members. Then let me be the first.
Welcome to the Guild Hall, Knowledge Seeker.
We're book hunters. Vanus Galarian, one of the founding members of this august body, still holds the proud title of Guildmaster. We are neutral in the war between the three alliances. When we're on guild business, we kneel to no king.
We provide training in unique spells and abilities only available to members. And from time...
Excellent. You are...
This work never ends.
This one brings bugs.
Praise Vivek! This is the person who helped me at the tomb, my lord.
Lord Vivek, we don't need the help of this outlander.
Oh, hush, Archcanon Tarvis. Outlanders have their usefulness, and this one intrigues me.
As you say. I'll be in my office if you need me.
Step forward. Canon Level says you helped him in his mission. As I have written, the one who helps my ally becomes my friend. This might be Archcanon's concern. I have ordinators and armigers at my disposal. Vast armies of followers and dedicated priests. What I don't have, however, is a fresh perspective. Will you set aside your personal goals for a time? Good. I need assistance to investigate a strange phenomenon that the ancestor confirmed may indeed be a problem. We'll start with the Daedric Prince. I suppose the same events that concern me might interest Azura, though she could just as easily be the source of these troubles. Red Mountain. Strange Daedra. Levol's ancestor assured me that a source of power remains safe. As for the rest, let the guess ripen in the mind, and only speak when the fruit grows certain. I require more information. The situation that troubles me has taken a toll on my Archcanon, but he's at the...
Yes. We do need to perform a ritual to reveal the nature. Despite my objections, Vivek believes you were sent to help, so I'll do my best to assist you. Go to the ziggurat. You receive a simple errand in the service of Lord Vivek, and countless questions form unbidden in your mind. Lord Vivek sees signs important. The ignorance of Outland. If you haven't guessed yet, even if I told you,
project has been nothing but one disaster after another. How am I expected to get this ziggurat built on our blessing stone? Do you know what happens if we give up our blessing stone? Well, neither do I, but I'm sure it won't put us back on schedule. Lord Vivek, why didn't you say so? I appreciate the help. Just remember that you're only borrowing the stone.
I was gonna die under there. Oh, thanks for saving me.
Thank you. I'll go tell the Overseer what you did for me. Praise Vivek!
The Outlander returns. I understand there was trouble at the construction site, but you were able to save a few of the workers. Lord Vivek always draws the straightest arrow from the... Hear the words of the warrior poet, and reveal the source of Lord Vivek's distress. An Ashlander? A clockwork mage? A Daedric cultist? Something interfered with the ritual, my lord. But we may have learned something. Excuse me while I compare the results to our previous research.
Between the cryptic warnings of the ancestor spirit and the unexpected result of the divination ritual, I fear there may be more astir than I imagined. We solved the greatest mysteries by accident. We learn from every action we take. Failure or success, each result teaches us something. Images that suggest avenues to investigate, riddles to solve. Let me tell you a secret, Outlander. It concerns a living god, an energy that fades like daylight as dusk spreads across the land. Listen well, and speak not a word. My divine energy, it drains away. Whether from illness or foul malady, I know not. You must travel the land and seek answers on my behalf. The ritual confirmed my worst fears. Divine energy flows out of me for no reason that I can discern. To quote my own words as the warrior poet, no lock exists that the determined thief cannot open. Follow the trail of my missing energy, and try to discover the identity of the enemy. Something drains my energy. Find Archcanon Tarvis in his office, and ask if he gleaned anything useful from the ritual. My divine energy diminishes with every passing moment, but the ritual confirmed my affliction is not natural. I regret that Yes. While Archcanon Tarvis has always been cautious about ideas and ideologies that didn't originate within the Tribunal, And recently, at first, I barely noticed the loss of energy. But as I continue to grow weaker, the more it feels like an attack against my person. Besides, the ancestor spirit, let us not dwell on disasters to come when we have problems enough to deal with in the here and now. Consort, they always chide me about my flagrant displays of divinity, but so far, I am the only one of the living gods whose power is fading. Almalexia hoards her energy and has barricaded. My brother travels. We have not heard from him for quite some time, but I sense that he remains safe and in possession of his full power. Funny. You always wanted to discover the... I've always used my power freely and without detriment. I create the blessing stars, hold the moonlit above the city, and perform 100 miracles a day to benefit my people. I begin to feel the toll this liberal application. I care little for my own safety, but my people are another matter. Without my power to stop it, the moonlit...
I performed that ritual countless times, and it never exploded in my face before. If I discover that you sabotage the divination... No. I shouldn't take my... How do you know about... Lord Vivek told you? Of course he did. It's his prerogative, I suppose. It's true. I'm much better at scholarly pursuits than field work. And the ritual wasn't a total failure. It confirmed 3 locations from my earlier studies: Bolmora, Aldrin, and Berelzar's tower. I need you to investigate each of these sites. I researched what I could using the resources available here in Vivek City. To learn more, I need an agent to personally assess each location. I believe the mage seen in the ritual is Berelzar, who works out of an ancient Velothi tower. His experiments radiate energy similar to Vivek's affliction, but they're not a perfect match. Find out what House Redoran controls the town and nearby mines. House Halalu also has interests in the region. Rumors of a cult in the area concern me the most. I believe we saw a cultist during the ritual. Make discreet inquiries and see. I have no idea. That's why we're sending you. I suggest you start at the inn. Secrets get spilled along with the drinks in such places. The miners may know something as well. Savage Ashlanders, like the one seen in the vision, use the area as a tribal meeting ground. These nomadic heretics deny the divinity of the tribunal and have no love for Vivek. But how they could be involved? I traced tendrils of Vivek's energy to these locations, and the ritual confirmed the connection before it went awry. Just don't discuss Lord Vivek's condition with anyone.
Enter the library of Vivek, and be... Well, have you come to see how... Indeed. And once well, that's the rub. Literally. The ancient families of Vardenfell hid the location of the library. Excellent. Let's start with a simple one. Head north of Vivek and travel to the Orthrellis ancestral tomb. Look, every important family owns at least one tomb. Of course, I'm most interested in those that predate the rise of the great houses. Specifically, genealogical records related to the earliest Velothi settlers. It could improve our understanding of the origins of the great houses 100-fold.
You look well-travelled, friend. Are you, by chance, going to Sadrithmore? Opportunity? Or that's what I thought, until I angered de Fair by failing to deliver the special mushrooms he ordered on time. Lost the shipment. Now I'm in a bind. I have the mushrooms, but I'm afraid Fair will evaporate me for late delivery. You aren't at fault for the late delivery, so Fair shouldn't do anything to you. Won't do anything to you, I mean. I guarantee it. Besides, I'll let you keep the payment he owes me as well. I'd rather avoid the situation altogether at this point. You're saving my life here, friend. I don't dare refuse the order, but I also don't want to meet. For someone who's helping me out this much, you can ask as many as you like. The Telvanni aren't like you and I, friend. They're powerful and quick to anger. No clue. If a Telvanni mage wants them, I can only suppose they have magical properties. Sadrithmore is up on the eastern coast, so you could walk, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Are you waiting for an invitation? This is a caravan. Looking to get out of Vivek City?
House Telvanni still keep slaves?
How else do those lazy mages accomplish anything?
But what about the pact?
House Telvanni stayed out of the pact. The wizards have no interest in mainland wars.
I mean, why doesn't the pact put a stop to it?
Would you like to tell the all-powerful mages to stop playing with their toys?
I can't believe they want us to go outside the house to find Vea.
I don't feel so well.
What is it?
Please, this one needs to get out of here. Those cultists, they're insane.
All right, but keep your voice down. I'll be ready to leave soon enough. In the meantime, if anyone asks, you're just here to haul cargo.
What? Who? This one is just here to haul cargo. Cultists? But this one said nothing about cultists. Perhaps you are thinking of another khajiit. No one likes a guar licker, you clawless kitten. It happened a few days back. Weird cultists just barged in and took over the mine. This one managed to get away, but the crew chief and some of the others are still out there. Happy.
Stupid dog.
What happened? Let me see.
I just tried to pet it. Damn dog bit me.
Leave it alone. There's something strange about that dog.
You shouldn't be here. Didn't you read the House Redoran proclamation? I wouldn't be here myself, but our mine was invaded by violent cultists. They showed up and just took the place over. My people are trapped. I'm no expert, but it looked like the cultists were preparing to conduct well, I never actually saw an Ashlander, but I heard a cultist yell, "Ashlander thief! That's our mystical weapon!" That's not an exact quote, but you get the idea. I don't know what happened after that. I was probably because I heard one of them say, "With this ritual we'll call forth a mystical weapon and attain the power of a god," or something along those lines. It used to be an ore mine, and we hope it will be again. My crew was inside preparing to start up mining operations. Really? That's awfully brave of you. If you see any of my miners, tell them to get their arses out here. I'll wait as long as I can, or until I hear screaming.
You don't look like one of those crazy cultists, and you certainly aren't one of them. Really? Then forget I said anything about His Holiness' nasal preening. They're some sort of Daedric cultists. The savages barged into the deep chambers, seemed to know about the hidden passage and everything, stole the relic the cultists were praying over, and ran.
This mine belongs to us now!
Did you find what you were looking for in the mine? Of course. I perfectly understand.
Please, if you just listen.
Take care of yourself.
I demand to see my brother. Lay hands upon me, and you will lose them. You there! The territory of the Red Exiles shouldn't be traveled lightly. Ashlanders once respected each other, helped one another. You'd think these were house wolves or tribunal dogs, the way they treated me. Speaking of the tribunal, you have the smell of dog about. Lord Vivek, is it? And I thought all the tribunal cared about was building monuments to their own greatness. Nice to see that one of them cares about what's going on beyond their borders. Well, perhaps we can aid each other this day, Outlander. Ashlanders are nomads, but we gather at sacred sites to trade, confer, and pay homage to the past. Aldrin is such a place. That's why Chodala invited the Red Exiles here. But these outcasts won't let me into their camp. I need to find my brother. My brother, Chodala, is the Ashkan of our tribe, and I am his ambassador. I act as a go-between among the tribes. Chodala wants to unite the Dunmer and calmly end the era of the bickering houses. He hopes to convince the tribes to follow his lead. Head into the Red Exiles camp and find my brother. Otherwise, see if you can find out what he was doing in there and where he's gone. Be wary of the outcasts. As you saw, they won't have... No, just our tribe, the Urshilaku, though he's respected by most of the other Ashlanders for his wisdom and strength of will. He does hope to unite the tribes in a common cause, however. That's one of the reasons we've gathered here at Aldrin. My brother and I have always worked to help our people and improve the Ashlander way of life. He used to believe that peaceful negotiation was the best path to accomplish this. Recently, however, no, that's not something I'm ready to talk about with an outsider. Perhaps after you prove your trustworthiness and willingness to help us, then we can discuss. That's not our goal, but the tribes will defend themselves if necessary. No, we hope to present a united front and show the houses the folly of the path they've embarked upon. The Red Exiles, they're violent, dangerous Ashlanders who were banished from their tribes and joined together to create their own clan. Chodala invited them to the gathering and went into their camp to talk. But he's been... As you saw, hostility is second nature to the Red Exiles. We're here to negotiate. They're no better than thieves and murderers. If they spot you in their camp, you'll need to defend yourself. have survived your visit to the Red Exiles camp. Did you find my brother? Interesting. I never suspected that the outcasts were disciplined enough to keep records such as this. Oh no. It means that Chodala really has changed. With his newfound powers and rising ambitions, I fear what he plans for the tribes. I suppose you have a right to know what I'm talking about. Take this. I found it among my brother's possessions. Chodala discovered new power out in the wilderness, and it changed his view of the world. He writes about it in that document. Now he believes he's the Nerevarine, and incites the tribes, while I try to keep them all from doing it. While the prophecy of the Nerevarine can be interpreted as the end of the tribunal, I have always seen it as a prediction of hope and peace. Chodala and some Ashlanders, such as the Red Exiles, favor war. That he uses an Ashkon's words to plant dark ideas in his followers. Ideas that speak of false gods, lost traditions, and the need for a cleansing war. His words become more... You don't know? I thought... No, you're not an Ashlander, and the House Elves rarely talk about such things. Long ago, there was a hero named Nerevar. He fought alongside the Tribunal, before they claimed... So our legends say. Nerevar united the Kaima, and forged an alliance with the Dwemer. He died at the Battle of Red Mountain. We believe the Tribunal hastened his demise, despite Vivek's claims to the contrary. The Nerevarine is a promise and a prophecy. We believe that, through the power of Azura, Nerevar will return to unite all Dunmer, House and Ashlander alike. And all I know is that his new power frightens me. Chodala returned from a sojourn in the wilderness more vibrant, more commanding. He's always been strong, but now he's fearless, practically... Chodala says his new abilities strengthen his claim as the Nerevarine. I think it's the staff he carries. He had it when he returned, and now it's always at his side. I know it's a...
Get on or get moving. Looking to get out of Vivek City? Smart decision. Farther away? That's probably a good idea. I can take you as far as nice. Looking to get out of Vivek City? Smart. Yes? Can I help? Looking to get out of Vivek?
What is it?
Help! Someone, please help! Please help. Bandits. They attacked my father's wagon on the roads to Sauron. They're stealing everything we own. My father's a proud Mer. They may kill him. Oh, citizen.
Such displeasure and disappointment. Nothing works, even though every calculation is precise. Now an interruption. How infuriating. Wait, divine energy. I'll have you know I participated in Lord Sother Seal's 9 analyses of the exalted enigmas. But we have more important matters. I'm about to determine the correlation between color and time, and I could use another set of hands. A reciprocal exchange. Interesting, yes. I can see the benefits of such an arrangement. Very well. Just activate the crystals in the proper sequence while such a waste repeating words. Activate the crystals in the proper order. It's all about colors, like a rainbow.
so good.
Wherever you are. Close, very close. One more to go. Yes, I love it when the gears align. Perfect. Such are the benefits of an extra set of appendages. The energy flows freely and without disruption, allowing the rods and the pistons to align in a most pleasing manner. Thank you. Now, Saint, how intriguing. I was just thinking about my former master, Sir Seal, and the experiments we conducted. He desperately sought to understand the power he and his companions attained, especially whether or not while I assisted him. He had a tool that he used to drain away minute bits of his own divine energy to store and study. He could extract it and return it as he saw fit. Not sure what became of the tool, but here are my notes from those days. More questions? Well, Lord Sotha Seal attributed curiosity to intellectual superiority. Suppose I should do the same. Ask, and I will attempt to tighten the cogs of your ongoing ed. Odd question. Is a hammer a weapon? A saw? A Dwemer spring spanner? No, it was just a tool. A device crafted by Sotha Seal to aid in his endless experiments. Suppose I could imagine. Haven't a clue. Tools have a way of wandering off when you don't stay vigilant. Had a guar that used to swallow tools when I wasn't looking. Glowed for a month until the enchantment dissipated and the tool passed. Should have heard the screams. I was his apprentice, but that was years ago. Spent time working in the Clockwork City. That's what I learned about energy transference, Dwemer engineering, mechanical symmetry. Made me the dark elf I am today. I have a question. The Archcanon, Lord Vivek's High Priest. I can think of a number of reasons that Alm and V would want to know about C and his... He's the father of mysteries and the architect of time, one of the tribunal, the three living gods of the Dark Elves. Creates all sorts of helpful and intriguing devices, like the Clockwork City. I haven't seen my old master in many years. It's a wonder and a miracle. All brass tunnels, glass domes, and giant gears. He was inspired by the work of the Dwemer. But the Clockwork City is pure Sotha Seal. He made it to forge the future and reshape the world.
Outlander, over here! This requires a considerable amount of effort, so just listen. We have a problem here. Return to my office immediately. At last. Did you see what's happening outside? Red Mountain rumbles louder and more frequently. The sky grows dark, and worst of all, the people are beginning to... In part, Lord Vivek is... not well. I won't allow his followers to see him in this state. He continues to lose energy, and it's becoming difficult for him to maintain the realm in his usual fashion. Now, what did your I'll review these documents and present your findings to Lord Vivek. I was against bringing you into this investigation, but I was wrong. Thank you for aiding us. You should go see Lord Vivek now. He's been asking about you. I'll be along. Very well. Tell me what you learned at each of the locations, and let's see what conclusions. Barrelzar faithfully served Sothasil. He's as loyal to the tribunal as I am. He would never intentionally harm Lord Vivek. But that tool he mentioned. Lord Vivek doesn't want his followers to see him in such a weakened state. Only you, Canon Levuel, and myself. From what you discovered, I dare say there may be a correlation between the narcotic relic and the tool Barrelzar mentioned. And it seems the Ashlander thieves are connected to Chodala. Your evidence points to a clear conclusion. So it appears. Lord Vivek, so your notes say, and this Saren assisted you. Interesting. Want nothing to do with the tribunal. Even so, they rarely become aggressive. I'd say this Chodala bear. Interesting theory. Perhaps Chodala's staff can steal Vivek's energy. I have a hard time imagining how an Ashlander could accomplish.
Lord Vivek needs to do something. Look at that sky!
Lord Vivek isn't receiving visitors today. My lord, please let me send for aid. Perhaps one of the healers can help you.
Pain is best tolerated in private, as I have written in the 37th ballad.
There must be something I can do.
You can call the Archcanon. He should hear the news our friend brings us. The river drains into the sea as my divinity flows out of me. Needs some work. As you can see, an Ashlander. That seems unlikely, but I trust your instincts. We need to find out more about this Chodala and the ancient enemy that aids him. Take this.
My lord, the Outlander may have actually discovered something. After further examination of the documents you brought back, I have to agree with your assessment. Not exactly, but now that we know that the affliction isn't natural, we can work toward a solution, one that probably involves Chodala's staff. How the Ashlander got his hands on Sothasil's tool, eventually, but we need to be cautious. If Chodala is as respected as you say, attacking him would start a war we can't afford to partake in. Go to Aldrin and talk to his sister, Saren. I don't trust him. Get to Aldrin and locate Saren. She needs to tell us more about Chodala, and then help. Didn't we cover this? Let me refresh your memory. Lord Vivek suffers stoically as his divine energy drains away. If we knew for certain, we wouldn't be sending you to make a deal with a heretical Ashlander, now would we? Chodala must have something to do with Vivek's energy. Everything you uncovered suggests the staff and Sothasil's missing tool are one and the same, and it's obviously connected to Chodala's newfound powers. Experience, Outlander. Experience. I have seen the Dunmer rage against the gods at the least provocation. When they realize that Vivek is ill, that his powers are failing, They'll weep and gnash their teeth like frightened children. The people don't handle the infirmities of their deities very well, especially when those infirmities could foreshadow Red Mountain's eruption or portend the moonlets fall from the sky. They try not to think about them at all. The Ashlanders are savages. They refuse to acknowledge the supremacy of Lord Vivec and the Tribunal, instead putting their faith in the despicable Daedra. They're heretics. The Ashlanders hold to superstitions the way Quama protect their eggs. If they really considered...
Outlander, quickly! This way! I've been thinking about my brother's claim that he's the Nerevarine since we last spoke. No matter how I try, the word tastes false on my tongue. My brother is respected and revered. He has allies in all of the tribes, not to mention his personal Red Exiles. We talked to my brother, tried to convince him this isn't the way. Barring that, we make sure the wise woman doesn't get drawn into his madness. Whatever Chodala says or does, don't attack him. We don't need a war between the houses. The wise woman. I was hoping she'd be here.
You're too late, dear sister. Despite your protestations, the wise woman has gone to the cave of the incarnate to confirm my claim.
Brother, do you really want to pursue this dangerous course?
There was a time when you gave me your unconditional support, Seren. I miss those days.
My brother Chodala's about to do something foolish and dangerous. But by dusk and dawn, Azura put you and I on the same path for a purpose. I just hope he's about to claim the title of the Nerevarine and try to unite the Ashlander tribes gathered here. He already convinced the Red Exiles to support him. He's using them to intimidate the other tribes. Wise woman Dovrasi, the most respected counselor and spirit guide this side of Red Mountain. She went to the Cavern of the Incarnate to meditate on Chodala's claim. If she confirms my brother's... Agreed, but I dare not leave Chodala alone with the tribes. I feel the hand of Azura in all this. Go to the Cavern of the Incarnate and talk to the wise woman. I'll stay here and try... The cavern's to the northeast of Aldrin, on the other side of the mountain. Hopefully, the rumbling and... Azura proclaimed that someday, Indorel Nerevar, a hero from our ancient past, would return to unite the Dark Elves and right the wrongs of Nirn. We call the returned incarnate the Nerevarine. When Chodala became a Gulakan, a champion of our people, I supported him. When he stepped forward as Ashkan, leader of our tribe, I was at his side. But this new claim, it comes with strange powers and talk of war. I can't support... My brother isn't the first to believe he's Nerevar returned. All of the previous failed incarnates rest within the cavern. A statue of Azura watches over them as they await the arrival.
She won't refuse my claim. Just in case, make sure the Red Exiles are ready.
Your word is law, Nerevarine.
You helped my sister. Thank you for that. But you don't need to worry about the Red Exiles anymore. They're under my control now. As for everything else, plotting? No, I'm confident that the false god will fall. Azura has proclaimed this, and I know it to be true. The tribunal betrayed our hero and turned away from our religion. My sister is too naive and idealistic for her own good. Look at the power I wield. Feel the conviction in my words. While the house elves squabble and fight to carve up our land, the Nerevarine will step forth to end their... How overly simplistic the world must be to your eyes, Outlander. I am Nerevar reborn. I will lead my people to power and glory. The wise woman knows this. She will proclaim it when she returns. And no tribunal lapdogs can change that.
By the three, I've never seen the mountain. We're headed to Sadrith Mora if that's where you'd like to go. Just decide quick. I want to sail on the next... I was planning on sailing to Sadrith Mora next, but I don't mind taking you to an Alliance capital. We're headed to Sadrith Mora if that's where you'd like to go. Just decide...
Pirates. If the place has a port and a dock, I can take you there.
best to do.
What?
One more day, that is all I ask. Lane and Menwendel must have to save this place.
Azura is my shield, you foul creatures. Thank you for aiding me, but I sense you came for a different purpose. Let's talk inside the cavern. An outlander. Surely there must be another way. No, my lady, of course not. I'll do as you ask. Come here, outlander. We must talk. It feels strange to talk to an outlander in such a sacred place, but the Queen of the Night Sky insists. I need to render judgment on an important claim, and she said words of truth from the mouth of an outlander. Remarkable. The Red Exiles and a few others believe that Chodala is the Neraverian. He's convinced them, but not me. Perhaps, but I must remain impartial. If someone else reveals the flaws in Chodala's claims by comparing him to the failed incarnates, that
We thought the incarnates were possessed by the spirit of Nerevar, but each had a critical flaw that made them destined to fail to fulfill the prophecy. Their spirits reside here. Yes, take this pouch of blessed grave dust. Sprinkle a pinch upon the bones of the incarnates to call forth their spirits. We need knowledge to defeat Chodala Outlander. Listen well to what the failed incarnates have to say. Once I was the hope of my people, but then my claim was proven false. To fulfill the prophecy, I followed a path of blood and war. In the end, my path became a road that led nowhere, and I was cast down from my level.
The Nerevarin remains a promise unfulfilled, and I am as guilty. The Nerevarin must listen as well as proclaim. I refuse to accept wise counsel, which led to the doom of my tribe and the end of my quest to embody the spirit of Nerevar. Take my scroll.
We are the failed incarnates, the Ashlanders who proudly proclaim themselves to be. Take my scroll and help the wise woman see the lie of unbridled power. I thought myself the reborn Nerevar.
Mortal, let us speak. I foresaw your usefulness before you even set foot in Vardenfell. Now comes a test that will challenge your ability to separate truth from lie. Doversy's wisdom outshines most other mortals. She recognizes the futility of Chodala's claim. Your instincts served you well. Chodala's path took a dark turn. However, my sight clouds when I look too closely. Sothasil built Sunara, but he did not creep. Then go. Return to Aldrun and help the wise woman reveal the falsehood of Chodala's claim. And let Saren assist you. She is my champion. Use what the incarnate shared with you. Their failures point the way toward Chodala's downfall. But beware Chodala's power. He may not be the Nerevarine, but some greater agency has... Due to an ancient pact, I am not permitted to interfere in the affairs of Nirn. Even this casual discussion pushes the boundaries of that agreement. Instead, I must work through trusted aid. Helping that arrogant imposter? Whatever gave you the idea that I was helping that murderer? Vardenfell must stand. Everything I do in this regard serves that single goal.
Thank the moon and star. You've returned. The wise woman returned from the cavern of the Incarnate and went right into Scar to meet with the tribes. Chodala's in there too, about to be named. Of course. Use the tales of the failed Incarnates to counter Chodala's arguments. An Outlander has no status in the Council. The Ashlanders won't listen to a word you say. Someone else has to present the arguments. Someone they trust. You spoke to the Incarnates, not me. I'm familiar with their stories, but I'll need you to help me choose the Incarnate. Runso was strong and powerful. He thought that by strength alone, he could unite the Ashlanders. Incarnate Ajiri was a champion of my people. She defended us against great threats. Incarnate Darnot thought his way was the best way. He rejected the counsel of the Wise Women and the Ashkans, something Nerevar would never do. Meet me inside.
Must we continue this farce? It's obvious that I'm the Nerevarine.
Someone has stepped forward to challenge your claim, Chodala.
Seren, I'm disappointed in you, dear sister.
Enough. I shall hear your arguments and render my decision.
Even the Outlander can see that I'm the most powerful Ashkan. My strength alone proves that I am the Nerevarine.
Chodala puts forth his great strength as proof of his claim. Yes, that's a sound argument. Incarnate, appear!
As a warrior and as an Ashkan, I was the most powerful of my age. But for all my strength, I failed my people. Don't follow my example.
The faithless houses dare to threaten our land, but we shall meet them in battle, and I will lead us to victory.
This is more nerve-wracking than I anticipated. That makes sense. I'll try that. Incarnate, appear!
I thought the path to the Nerevarine was a path of blood and battle, but my love of war was my undoing. War is not the way.
These failed incarnates prove nothing. I need no counsel but my own, as befits my status as the Nerevarine.
I think it's working. Of course. Incarnate, appear!
I refuse to accept the counsel of the Wise Women and the Ashkans. I thought I knew best, but I knew nothing. That is not the way of the Nerevarine.
Seren and the Outlander, their arguments have merit. Chodala, we deny your claim. You are not the Nerevarine.
This proves nothing! Look how the staff protects me! I am the Nerevarine! Red Exiles, slay the
Brother,
unbelievers!
no!
Move to flank!
From the side!
For Chodala! For the Nerevarine!
Go to my hut and get my healer's sack. Now.
I hate what
Right
my
away,
brother's
wise
become.
Mortal, I would have words with you. Chodala has been revealed as a failed Nerevarine, but that hasn't dissuaded him from his... Time is against you, mortal. Even now, Vivek, that pompous usurper, grows increasingly weaker. As much as I deplore him, return to Vivek City. Do what you can to aid Vivek, and pay heed to my faithful vessel, Saren. I name her champion of the...
That was... exhilarating. That was glorious. Lady Azura's presence filled me with such wonder. She actually spoke through me. And help you I shall. Return to Vivek City, while I track down my brother and his damnable staff. With the Ashlanders against him, he won't have many options.
Lord Vivek, protect us.
Pull yourself together. You're a buoyant armiger for Vivek's sake.
As a god weakens, so too does his city suffer. I know my people grow fearful. Even the Archcanon is distressed. But the energy that remains to me holds the moonlit in the sky. At least for now. So, how this upstart Ashlander learned to attune Sotha Seal's tool confounds my understanding. And he dares use my power? Still, your help.
Due to Lord Vivek's condition, it falls upon us to find a solution. Lord Vivek must conserve his remaining energy, so we need to solve this problem on our own. It all comes back to Chodala. That damned Ashland. How should I know? It's not a skill the Tribunal teaches. Return to Barrelzar's tower and get Sothasill's former apprentice. You see right through me, Outlander. I have more worries than a Quama Queen has eggs. I'm talking about Chodala's sister. Saren claims to want to help, to want peace. But we need to stop Chodala. And to do that, we need to find a way to overcome the device he's wielding. Is the bull sure it can bed the Betty? No. But by all accounts, we'll be better off with Sunara in our hands and away from Chodala. That won't be possible, however, as long as the female Ashlander? Well, if that wasn't enough of a reason, remember that she's also Chodala's sister. Blood sings to blood, as the warrior poet so elegantly put it. Vivek loves this land, and the land loves him in return. He's always had a special bond with Vardenfell. Is it so hard to believe that Red Mountain reflects his suffering? Beyond that, there's also Bardao. Lord Vivek's intervention stopped the moonlit from crashing into the city. He holds it above us by strength of will. But as he weakens, so too does the power.
Is someone up there? I could use some help down here. Hurry, please. I have a natural aversion to Daedra.
So hard to concentrate and maintain schedules when interruptions constantly occur. Logic has very little place in the behavior of Daedra, my hopeful associate. Studying the fabric of reality does tend to attract unwanted attention, but these creatures appeared just before you entered my tower. Ah, a modification of my master's old experiments, turning a simple tool into a dangerous weapon. Ingenious! Evil, yes, but also quite brilliant. No, of course not. I just invented it. I need proper components to build such a device. My hirelings scour the land for materials all the time. Here's a list. Head out the back door and ask them to direct you to these common... Hirelings? Yes, they worked for me, before they quit, ungrateful netches. Still, I paid them well before the pistons slipped their alignment. The situation is wound dangerously tight, but I believe the gears revolve around you. I could, but I won't pour 5-year-old Flynn into a cracked decanter. No effect.
If you're another pilgrim looking for charity, I suggest you move along. I have neither the time to waste nor the gold to spare. Let me see that. What's that crazy mage need this time? I suppose you could find a manual clockwork shaft in the Nichuleft ruins. But I'd avoid that place if I were you. If the roof doesn't... If you insist. Deep in the ruins churns a big machine. That mage is a menace. Oh, he always paid well, but the places he asked me to go, each was more dangerous than the last. And if I had to hear about the Great Gear one more time... For my own health and sanity, I had to break ties with Baron.
I feel like such a puny snowback hiding here in Molag Mar. But you don't want to hear about Berylzar. He's the reason I'm a shattered man, doomed to become a cowering sheep like the rest of these pilgrims. All right, let me see that. The cursed contraption. I almost had it figured out when a ghost floated up to me. No problem, I think. But then it enters a centurion. Ghost machines. No sane Nord can fight ghost machines. I dropped my notes and ran as fast as I could. Not just ghosts. Ghosts that possess dwarven machines. I'm through working for that crazy old mage and his clockwork monster.
Another new face. Wonderful.
Damned vampires. I'll find a way to make them pay for what they did to my brother. I swear it on the tribunal and any Daedra willing enough to listen. What do you want? He did he? Let me see that list. Well, the crazy old mage always said there were no coincidences. The inversion conduit. I saw one in Galone Deus, right before I barely escaped from those damned eager to become cattle for the bloodsuckers. The Burn clan killed my brother. Damn their eyes. The item you seek was in the manufactory, but you'll need a control rod to get a dwarven spider to unlock it for you. Because the mage wanted to send me to the far side of Vardenfell, and I need to remain here. I'm not going anywhere until I make the Burn clan pay for what it did to my brother.
Another? We make regular runs to Suran and Tel Mora. If that's what...
There's much preparation. Sorry, I forgot that not everyone knows how to tell a Silt Strider apart. My great creature can take you to Vivek City, Seydanin, or Molag Mar. Are you interested in any of those?
Are you waiting for an invitation? Farther away.